Hi, my name is Elijah,
And I'm Rosemary,
and
and
this
this is
is
the
the
Shine
Shine
for
for You
You
podcast,
podcast.
presented by Shine for Education. So, you might be wondering why and what is Shine for Education? What is this video? Why would you want to watch it in the first place? So, I'm here to tell you just that. Why? You know what I mean. Shine for Education is a volunteer organization committed to providing student outlets to follow their passions in a safe environment without any boundaries. Founded in 2020, Shine for Education is creating educational opportunities for the community today.
And working in collaboration with Rise Inc., we are creating and expanding educational programs in the Central Valley. And the founder of Shine for You Education is actually right here. It's
I feel
Elisha
honored.
Hernandez, and he's going to talk about his um, roots and also with how it became.
Yeah, Rosemary is way too nice with the introduction. Being called founder on like camera is very surreal to me. I mean, all of this is very crazy to me. Just to give some context, I have been doing educational programs since 2014. I think when I was
Nice.
14,
Wow.
actually.
Oh my gosh, you're a 2000s baby.
Yeah, I am a 2000s baby. Did you not know that?
No.
What?
Yeah, no, but it makes it easy to count like your years,
Exactly.
right?
It's just like 2 years
Yeah.
off consistently. And also, my birthday is
Gotcha.
22202.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
honestly I'm really
You're
proud of
so
that.
young.
I'm so young.
You are.
Yeah, you're super old. 22 years old?
Yeah,
That's
but
crazy.
not that much older.
You experienced Vine.
Oh my gosh.
I didn't experience Vine.
Oh my gosh.
I didn't.
That's crazy.
Yeah, no, well, also, I didn't have social media until like middle school, and that really messed me up because by the time I got Facebook, everyone was off of Facebook. By the time I got on Instagram, everyone was on Snapchat. And like I've always been
behind.
exactly. I literally had to meet the Terminator to become cool again, pretty much.
Oh
So
wow.
I feel like that caught up a little bit,
Mhm.
but I feel like I'm sort of just permanently stunted for life, social media wise.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, that's where I'm here to help you out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. You still use Facebook,
Yeah.
which
I
is
know. I can't believe you say it like that.
you do. That is so weird to me. Like so. Yeah, for Rise, when I'm communicating with them, we communicate through Facebook a lot. I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to download Messenger now. That's just disgusting. And now it's crazy. This is gonna be uploaded on Facebook. This is sort of like an open diss, low key.
Yeah, yeah, because you are a 2000s baby.
I'm a
That's
2000s
why.
baby. Yeah, I use Instagram and all of that.
Yeah, I'm more Facebook heavy.
That's so weird
Yeah.
to me. But yeah, in terms of going back to talking about
Okay,
me,
yes.
gosh.
More about you, Shine for
Why
You
do you think I started the
education.
podcast? Just talk about me, and then maybe someone will like it.
Right?
But no, actually, that goes into why Shine for You exists. Shine for You is really a platform for fellow community leaders, much like myself, who really want a platform to showcase their work and also guide other kids, students into how to be them one day. There, again, there isn't really any step-by-step process to do what I'm doing right now,
Yeah.
going from at least there's not a book out there that's like, okay, so here's how you become a nonprofit and make it look good, how you get the designing. A lot of it I've just had to learn from experience.
Yeah.
So I hope to not only share my own experiences, but also let other people who want to follow different paths do their own. Because I know Rosemary here is a super talented musician, singer. She does a lot of cool stuff. Not everyone knows how to become a musician. I mean, like I grew up watching Michael Jackson videos, so that just drove me into choir. But she knows the real professional stuff. So I'm sure eventually, we're gonna start talking about her and all the cool stuff she's doing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. No,
You want to go? Okay.
no I was just gonna say,
Uh-huh.
no, yeah. I think that's all people need to know about me.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know. I could bring it up later.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, I am actually a vocal instructor here at Rise, and we are doing more so like video instructional stuff because of COVID and being in person. And so I hope you guys could actually go and watch that if you guys want to see how I teach as well. But yeah, I was in choirs.
Yeah.
That's where I got started as well. And yeah, I actually wanted to do a tutoring program through Rise because I've always been teaching stuff. Like I've been teaching singing with like my friends for fun, And then like I would coach for volleyball and even like PE stuff. So um, teaching has always been a thing, and education has always been something that has been a thing with me. So I just was like, you know what, Rise, let's do it. And then they're like, oh, we have a guy
Yeah.
that we're working with. And then,
Yeah.
bam,
Yeah. It literally.
we
Yeah. Sorry.
became Rise and Shine.
Rise and shine.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, like yeah, it really happened very quick.
Yeah, it was literally like about a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, that's
About a
true.
couple weeks ago.
I'm about a week ago. Yeah. Man, oh, maybe she is hip. She knows rap songs. Wow, crazy. No, yeah, it's like I think how many times we've met like maybe like 4 times,
Yeah.
and then we decided, we're just gonna do it like years long program stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, like what I told her when we first met, we got to make sure we have a few meetings before we start doing stuff because she just might hate me. I don't know yet.
He said that.
This is
too.
yeah, this is the testing period.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like she just might be like,
We just met each other.
yeah,
and,
exactly.
And then we just had the same visions, and bam,
Yeah,
we're
that's
trying to take off from here.
yeah. That's funny. These are sort of our first interaction, not completely first
Yeah.
interactions.
First month interactions.
Yeah, exactly. So it's pretty random. So before she got introduced, to was it the Rise and Shine stuff? Like basically, I started Shine for Education back March 13th, 2020. And during high school, I did all the outreach stuff during with a robotics program. So I knew that personally, okay, I wanted to keep going. I wanted to keep
Nice.
doing this.
Yeah.
But there isn't again like a job listing out there like, hey, you want to do community outreach work and just do whatever you want? Here's some money.
Here's
you
a
know?
platform,
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, so I guess I'll just make my own.
Yeah. And here was the platform, Rise.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
crazy that it just
It
went
just-
in line. And it was the same time, too. Because I put it out the week that they were like, oh, that's when we met Elijah. And then we were like, why don't we just make it a thing of educational programs? Because that was where we were both trying to go towards.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, no, that just ends up we meeting. But yeah, a little bit before that, I had been running Shine for Education on a more test trial run, for like roughly now at this point it's been a year now, and I did some trial programs and just did general community work. But
Like what?
well, I did a trial film festival, a real test run, 'cause,
Nice. Okay.
which with Rise, secret announcement for the people, like maybe the 5 people that watch this podcast. Right? We do have plans for that in the future. But, anyways, I
And
did.
we'll talk about it
Yeah.
later in the podcast.
But yeah, besides that, also just doing general community work, like donating supplies during COVID.
Sweet.
You know,
Yeah.
I wish I had met with Rise sooner because that was a lot of. Because I want to do educational programs, but I also want to help the community at large. So that's why in the future, when you see our educational programs, it isn't limited by one particular subject.
Yeah.
We really believe in expanding and just helping out and guide people in whatever path that they might take.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd been doing that for a year. I put all of my birthday money, like
Oh, sweet.
and thousands of dollars, into like, buying the website,
Wow.
buying the copyright. I like upwards of 1,500, which for me, I didn't work throughout high school because I was so busy doing the educational workshops. Because I was teaching. By the end of high school, I taught 1,000 kids, and
Wow.
even got to travel all the way out to Laos. And of
Yeah.
course, you don't do that by just taking an hour a day. It takes a lot of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it takes like just you preparing to instruct. Like
Yeah.
that takes a lot of time too.
I think even the mental aspect of it.
Yeah.
Like
I agree.
like being younger, when I first started doing that, I was really happy to be with the robotics team because it's a very welcome environment. But also sometimes it put me in big positions like very quickly. I remember I was presenting at the farmers market, Clovis Farmers Market,
Yeah.
over in Old Town Clovis. And I remember how nerve-wracking that entire process was. I remember the first presentation, I couldn't even do it. It
Oh,
terrified me.
no.
I was like 16, and it wasn't even that I didn't know what I was going to talk about.
Yeah.
It was just like this anxiety of like, I've never been on a stage like this.
Like that stage fright, like you shake, your paper's all shaking.
Yeah, and of course I've gotten a lot more used to it. But
Yeah.
yeah, even that, like sometimes it'll get me very like anxious, which I think is very just real. A lot of people think that with people like me, you that are doing these super like that seem to be super cool things. There's a very human behind the scenes factor where it's like,
Mm.
man, I am just like low key freaking out. But you can't do that though
Yeah.
in front of people because then it's like, oh my gosh, this person doesn't know what they're doing.
Yeah,
But
and I think one thing that's really cool is that we both have our own experiences by doing that in high school and for me for college.
yeah.
And now I feel like I'm not freaking out with this program,
Yeah.
which is so awesome. I have a lot of confidence with it because we actually work well and like we already created a skeleton for the rest of the year. So
Big things.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm very
super
excited.
exciting.
No, yeah. Yeah, and also I think performing goes very in hand with what this
Yeah.
is.
Mhm.
Being in front of a camera,
Yep.
just having to have your voice and have an audience for it.
Yes.
There's a lot
Yes.
of smart people that I've worked with through robotics, just through
Mhm.
life, but too many of them, because they're smart in a different way. They have all of these amazing ideas, but a lot of it there's this fear about actually putting it out there because then
Yeah,
it's like,
it's
oh,
vulnerable.
yeah,
Oh my goodness. And people could bash on it, but it's like if you have a good reason of why and if you feel confident enough in it, that's when you should put it out there. And I feel like we're doing
yeah.
that. Yeah.
Exactly. I just go by like, shooters shoot, You
Mhm.
just gotta shoot your shot and if you miss then you can learn from it. But
Yeah.
if you never shoot it in the first place, what are you doing? It's always about
I agree.
trying to move forward the best you can, which isn't always possible, but it's you can always try and
Mhm.
you know, that's all you can really do at the end of the day.
Mhm. Yeah. So, with that being said, we're going to talk about what we're planning on doing with Shine for You education and the types of projects that we have been working on.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. So educational programs, we've really been expanding from at least for me personally, what I was
Mhm.
doing in the past. So although we are furthering out with the support of Rise,
Mhm.
the old film festival, which was called the Lighthouse Film Festival, we're now turning it into the Shine Film Festival. And before, what was different was personally, I was always like nervous about scaling up the age groups for the
Yeah.
programs. I have only ever had experience, I've worked with high schoolers, but that's as a high schooler.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I did all those educational programs and for
Mhm.
elementary and middle school students. But
Mhm.
with the help of Rosemary here and again overall Rise, we're
Mhm.
expanding it to high school students and also to college students.
Mhm.
So yeah, and it's accessible. Uh,
Mhm.
Very low cost to actually participate. We have 4 different genres to participate in. There's theater productions, personal narratives, autobiographies, and documentaries.
Mhm. Yeah. And we will also put a link down below for the film.
Film festival, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a link to it, and where it shows you all the terms and rules to apply for it,
Exactly. Yeah.
and also more information on okay how long a film can be.
Yes.
I,
The guidelines.
yeah, exactly. Just a breakdown of everything you need to know to participate, and then just do it.
Mhm.
Yeah. Film submission deadline is nowhere near now. It's all the way in October 13th, I believe, the
Mhm.
second Wednesday of October. And the plan is right now, although things may change, right now, for sure, we do want to do a live stream event premiering all of these movies.
Mhm.
We plan on interviewing every single participant,
Yep.
making sure that, especially for people who are new into videography, getting
Yeah.
really constructive criticism and being able to help give them a platform to push forward with their work.
Mhm.
Again, that's a big part of what Shine and Rise is. It's a platform for people to launch off and figure out who they are through these programs.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I know for me personally, that's what I did with this.
Mhm.
Helping people really helped me at the end of the day. Just
Mhm.
it helped me learn. Okay, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life.
Mhm.
And this is who I want to be.
Yeah.
And I think other people just find that through different lanes. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. I think when I heard of it, I was like, whoa, like when he told me, oh yeah, it's for middle school and high schoolers, and I was like, what? Like I know so many adults
Yeah.
who want these opportunities for beginner friendly type of film festivals because it's so intimidating to go for a big one and you're like, wow, like you compare your work to others when it should not be like that. It should be just a way to express yourself and feel safe enough to share your work and also kind of show us the journey that you're going to go on. And this is the beginning steps.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it was pretty awesome. I actually watched one of the
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 Lighthouse Film
Lighthouse
Festival.
film.
Yeah,
Yeah.
one the best film you watched.
Yes, I watched the bus film, and it was so adorable. It was super cute because like um, seeing how engaged the middle schoolers were. It was awesome to see like that this is their first steps with filming, and it's a beautiful thing to record and actually like have a platform for them. And so, yeah, I'm super excited for this film festival to be open for all ages.
Yeah, exactly. And
Hmm.
also it isn't just you know, the film festival, they're not just going to be highlighted there. We do want to do individual videos per
Yes.
participant
Hmm.
to showcase at least the interviews. Because at the end of the day, it's again being a platform for anything and everything you want to do.
Yeah.
And speaking of that film in particular, shout out to Hope Rising from the Ash from Diego. He's
Yeah.
currently, I think, yeah, he's still in eighth grade. He's going to be going into freshman year
Woo.
this upcoming year.
Oh,
So,
nice.
yeah, I just want to give him a shout out since, he won the entire film festival.
Wow, yeah.
So, along with just being a platform to showcase films, we are also working on actually having more prize incentives, camera
Yes.
equipment,
Hmm.
and again,
Accessibility
yeah,
too. Yeah.
accessible. And that's another big thing about this film festival.
Hmm.
You mentioned it isn't just an intimidation factor with like going like um, submitting to like the Tribeca Film Festival. It's also the
Yeah.
cost of it.
Yes.
Some of it's hundreds of dollars,
Yeah.
and that's difficult when you want to compete. Even if you have a great film,
Hmm.
then it's like, okay, if I want to actually compete, then I have to sell my film,
Yeah.
and it's a lot of it's personal empowerment, making sure you could actually own your content,
Yeah.
and being able to utilize it in the way that you need to take off.
Yeah,
You know.
and build your portfolio through it as like a small fun project to begin with as well.
Yeah, you'll notice that through the majority, pretty much all our programs, they all have things that you can actually take away from it and put on a resume.
Yeah,
Things
that's
that
pretty awesome.
that's really what I wanted to do. That's what's changed with my educational, my
Hmm.
thoughts on educational programs.
Yeah.
When I was younger, a lot of it's introductory concepts, but in order for that to really set in, you have to do follow up, follow up, follow up, follow up.
Mm, yeah,
You know,
that's true.
and I still want to do those kinds of things, but I feel
Hmm.
that programs where a lot of it is we're guiding them, but also regardless of whether they win or lose,
Yeah.
they have truly something that they can take away from it.
Hmm.
Even if one nominee doesn't get, they don't win. They at least can say, "Hey, I got this, certificate. I actually was in one of the best film
Hmm.
festivals in our local
Yeah.
area, and I got the chance to actually, you know, be able in that competitive arena with people,
Yep.
because even though it is, we're primarily advertising in the Central Valley, we aren't limiting it to the Central Valley.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's to anyone who truly wants to participate.
Hmm.
So, yeah, there's a lot of things that go into our programs. I mean, we could talk all day about them.
About the film festival, yeah.
Exactly.
But we'll probably share that on a separate podcast if we're just highlighting about the film festival, especially because there are so many components to it.
Yeah, and also we plan on releasing the live stream event November 26th.
Yeah.
But again, it's April 2nd.
Yeah, so
There we do have more programs on the way that are before that
Mhm.
we should definitely talk about.
Cool. And another program that we are going to be starting is the creative writing sessions, and we call it the Shine Authors. And we're doing it 18 plus during the summertime, and we will show you guys more info about it down below.
Yeah, Shine Authors is going to be happening in the summertime. It's going to be a 1 month program. And the whole point is to be able, again, give a platform for creative writers and also in the hopes of actually working with them to have their work published.
Yes.
So, if you want to know more about that, I can't give away all of the sauce. I have to leave, I have to sprinkle it.
Yeah.
But again, everyone who does participate in that I can't say right now, but will have their work professionally published.
Yeah, and the great part about it is that these sessions are to literally put a time slot and being like, write on the work you want to post or to have published. Because a lot of the times I feel like when you're doing work and it's your own work, you are procrastinating it, right? You like
Yeah.
put it to the side, and you don't have a schedule. If you schedule it and it's like you have to do it this time and this is the only time frame you have, like 1 hour, then, you kind of bust it out, kind of go with it, and you actually produce more work through that. And so that's what these sessions are. And it kind of gives more of an outlet for that. So, yeah, we'll talk about that in our other podcasts as well.
Yeah. No, yeah, that goes in the whole idea like urgency, having the urgency
Yeah.
to keep on pushing with what you love doing because a lot of people are told, once you find the job that you love, you're just going to love it forever. And you're still going to have that passion and drive for it.
Yeah.
But there are going to be other things like I know for me personally, I've been doing this for 5 years. I've been doing this again since a freshman. And
Yeah.
it's sometimes it gets tiring. It's like, wow, because mentally,
Yeah.
it's like, wow, I've been doing this for so long. It's so
Mhm.
crazy. I love doing it.
Yeah.
But sometimes there's these mental hoops you gotta jump through. So like coming to Rise has been really helpful, working with Rosemary because it's again having a specific base where I could be like, hey, I'm going here, and I have the mental process of like, hey, I'm gonna come here to work.
Yeah, and we have a set time, so it's like this is the only time we have to work, so we grind it out.
Exactly.
And that's what these creative writing sessions are basically gonna do. Another general teaser that we will talk about for our programs, we do want to do like another Shines and Authors, or
Yeah, Shine Authors
Shine
program,
Authors,
but for
yeah.
elementary and middle school students.
Yes.
Yeah. So again, it's gonna be more longer work program mainly because again it is younger students. So with high school college students, for the most part they're very much prepared in how to write. That's what they've been doing for the past 4 years at least.
Yeah, yeah.
So for the students, it's gonna be more of a breakdown of hey, different kinds of genres and also what presenting them, just introducing them again, and
Yep.
then having them write something that again that at a young age they can be a published author.
Yeah.
you know like for me being a high schooler, it's being able to say I did all of this at a young age has been really impactful for certain interviewing situations.
Mhm.
When people I have to present my work, it's like, oh wow, you did that at 19.
Mhm.
And I mean, I wish I got to start sooner with that
Yeah,
hindsight. Like,
exactly. And that's what we're trying to do out of this is to have younger kids have that accessibility to say, I did this, I could put this on my resume. Because I feel like a lot of students who are in middle school or high school, when they're told to write a resume, it's
yeah.
like, it's so empty, Like, I have no idea what to put on. So,
Exactly.
this is like an opportunity to do that.
And even if they don't want to do writing for the rest of their life, they could just be like, yeah, I'm done with that. That was cool. But then they, again, for the rest of their life, can say, hey, I'm a published author. And,
Yeah.
imagine the impact that has on, a kid who, before that had never really truly valued their own work. And,
Yeah.
again,
Yeah.
the lot of your work translates to your view of yourself. So I think that it's something that really uplifts people to have their work looked at by people
Yeah.
and then be like, wow, this is it's worth it. I feel worth it. That's
Yeah.
I think the
Yeah.
impact you really want to leave with kids having. And then if they want to take up writing in the future, then yeah, then they can do that. But we're not trying to force a new generation of writers. It's just giving them the opportunity to see, hey, I can do something really big and noteworthy,
Yeah.
and it isn't going to drain my pockets. I'm not going to have to spend like hundreds of dollars to learn this one specific thing. It's
Yeah.
for the community, by the community.
Yeah, that's well said.
Thank you. Yeah.
And why we are having these podcasts is actually to interview people in our community who are having an impact through education and also through the business world and their professions. And that way, people could actually see steps of how to become a profession or how to do nonprofit work or be a singer or anything. And we want to open that up. So if you do have any requests for community leaders that are engaged in our community in the Central Valley, please let us know. We do have a survey. So,
Yeah, we'll be putting that in the description.
yes, we will.
Yeah, because as much as I would like to just talk about myself,
Or our
podcast,
programs,
our programs,
or like our ideas and thoughts, we really want to highlight the people in our community.
exactly. Speaking of, yeah, also, by the way, if you do know someone also super cool that just happens to be not in the Central Valley, we'd love to
Mhm.
interview them too.
Yeah.
Um, we have a couple options interviewing wise.
Mhm.
With
Via Zoom.
via Zoom.
Uh-huh.
And also, if you want to interview in person, that is an option. However, there are certain hoops we got to go through that. We are,
Mhm.
again, maintaining COVID regulations. Like,
Mhm.
we're not sick, and, we've made sure to have tests
Mhm.
to make sure that this happens here.
Yeah.
We aren't just, like, let's do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got
I
to make
agree.
sure everything is safe.
Mhm.
Yeah. So yeah, that's again a big part of it. If you do want to come into the studio, see everything, the
Mhm.
intense lights. I remember when I first came to Rise. Actually, I came in here and they had the lights on. It felt like an interrogation room. It was very like, oh
I'm
man,
weak. Oh man, that's
it
pretty funny.
it felt like that. I was like, the camera's up there, and I'm like, can they see me through the screen? Because there's also, you don't see it right now, but right there, it's like an actual studio, because it is a real studio.
Yeah, there's a
They
glass.
there's yeah
Yeah.
a glass barrier.
Window.
There's a person right there just on the computers making sure to cut any and every bad thing that I say. So
Yeah, and so if you guys want to also help volunteer and help us make these podcasts work and these programs, please volunteer. And it would be really awesome for us and for the community. And we do actually have some forms that we will put in the description down below.
yeah, and also just because you might not be a super expert professional, you don't need to have been doing needs to have been doing this for 5 years straight
Yeah.
in order to really have a productive and significant impact on not just the people that you're going to be teaching or the kids you're going to be working with,
Yeah.
but also just the people you're going to be working around.
Yes,
There's
yeah.
countless people that I can talk about, like, who impacted me and gave me certain encouragement boosts just to keep going. It's as simple
Mhm.
as believing in someone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And the thing is that the best way to learn is to volunteer yourself to be like, I will do whatever you need me to do. And then that's how you could learn for free. So that's the biggest thing about volunteering. You learn for free. You don't have to pay a program. You don't have to do a like 500, 1,000 type of thing for to learn how to make a podcast or even be in the community and build programs and teach and mentor. Um, I think it's super important to volunteer for that aspect. The thing is that you give up your time. However, you do that with the $1,000, you know?
Exactly.
So, yeah,
No,
let
yeah.
us know if you guys are interested. And we really would love volunteers. And we are also opening positions to be in our, not board, but
Yeah, we have a lot of different ways to volunteer.
yeah.
There's our executive suite. In
Yes,
terms
yeah.
of how our organization runs,
Yeah.
there's executive directors, and then there's directors for certain positions, communications, marketing, and so on and so on.
Mhm.
And also, if you are a student, if you're starting like me, 14 years old,
Mhm.
we do have a student board ambassadors
Yes.
who we also want, working with actual school administration
Yeah.
to be able to present their own ideas.
Yeah.
Oftentimes, especially now with schools, they're so busy. It's
Mhm.
like, not all the time do they have the chance to hear from a student who really cares about their school,
Yeah. Yeah.
and wants to make a change. So
Mhm.
we hope, for any of you students out there to give you that road to help you do that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I agree.
But again, also, you don't need to be a super expert. There's tons of things that we need help with. We are working on things such as newsletters, which, who knows, might turn into a magazine one day. Who knows?
Yeah, so we need writers,
Writers,
we need any
photographers.
photographers, videographers, and even if you don't know that, we already have some set of skills that we could teach you and help you also just try it out and mess around with it, you
Yeah.
know? We're there to guide you in that aspect.
Yeah, and also graphic designers. I mean,
Yes.
even if you just want to model our soon to be out and soon to be released merchandise, if you want to do
Exactly.
that, there's tons of things. Or
Mhm.
even, once we get into throughout the year more specific projects, there's people who, if you're interested in the educational sector, if you want to be a teacher, there's going to be
Yeah.
things where we do need. Maybe not, even if you're not a professional teacher, but people who want to work with kids and interact
Yes.
with them and help guide them throughout their own specific projects.
I agree. Well, thank you for listening in for our podcast. I'm Rosemary Vu.
Yeah, I'm Elijah Hernandez.
And if you like this video, hit like down below. Subscribe if you want some more info on our podcast.
Yeah, and see you in 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks, yes.
Yeah.
This is a bi weekly type
Oh,
of
we didn't say that.
podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should have said that. Yeah, I just realized that. Yeah. So yeah, again, yeah. By the way, this isn't some super professional thing, even though they're all the fancy equipment. So don't be intimidated about coming in for an interview. You know, this is for anyone and everyone. Again, I said for the
Yeah.
community, by the community. So yeah.
All right. We'll see you guys later. We'll see you next bi weekly.
Yeah, see you in 2 Fridays.
2 Fridays. Bye.
Bye.